While you're setting up, I heard that you were in
There you go.
I heard you were in a bike accident. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I got taken out by a taxi door, which I've seen happen a lot, but
That's terrifying. I bike in the city a lot.
Handlebars. I'm totally okay, but it was, I don't know, I was banged up for a while and it scared the crap out of me.
How long ago was that?
I think it was a couple weeks ago. And it took me I still have some bruises. It took me a week to stop limping.
Oh, are you riding again or?
Yeah, I'm riding again, but I'm not zipping around like I used to. I'm a lot more careful.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad everything's okay. Sorry to hear that. That's scary.
Me too. Yeah, I know Weston was worried.
Oh, yeah.
He's so nice for thinking of me.
Yeah, he's a sweet kid. Cool. Well, thanks so much for the time today. Basically, we're doing
no problem. Thanks for being so flexible.
Yeah, no worries. This actually worked out better for me too. So we had so much going on yesterday. So I was happy to hear that you could do a Saturday. So we're doing a big project for a client. I'll tell you who it is after the fact, but just trying to understand a little bit more about your shopping habits, brands you like, don't like, that kind of thing. So I'll ask a bunch of questions and just answer them as honestly as you can. And there's no right or wrong answers. Okay. Do you have any questions or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm ready.
All right. So what would you say guides you in your life? So first we're going to start with some just questions about you and your philosophies on life, that kind of thing. So what would you say guides you? What's important to you and what kind of mottos do you live by, would you say?
What guides me? I guess a lot of goals, socially and in terms of work. So I feel like I'm guided a lot by my projected career path, and overall just being ensuring that I'm as happy as possible and exude happiness so other people can kind of feed off that or be happy as well. So I'm really focused on the work that I'm setting out to do. So that kind of occupies a lot of my life, especially if my daily schedule, it's jam-packed. I'm very much so a workaholic.
Oh, really?
And I like to be busy. And even on my days off, I like to be busy. So I feel like I'm super driven just by this want and need to do stuff and contribute to society and make a better life for myself so I can make a better life for the people around me. I'm super driven by my family and friends, just ensuring that they're happy and that I'm nearby, just their overall well-being. I don't know I can't think of any philosophies that I live by other than just having a life that's full of a lot of compassion for other people. And I guess that's I guess that
cool. No, that's
a life full of compassion is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's beautiful. How would you describe your aspirational self? Say 5 years from now. What do you see yourself doing, and not just doing, but how do you see yourself living your life?
In 5 years, I'd like to be a lot more settled in to a career. I honestly thought I'd be at that point right after college, but now I'm seeing that it kind of takes. I'm 25 years old right now. Now I'm after talking to a lot of people my age and making friends who are in their 30s, I realized that you're not most people don't seem settled into a career until they're in their 30s. So I'll be 30 in 5 years, and I think that's how I kind of see myself settled into a career. I'm doing a tattoo apprenticeship right now. Cool. So I definitely want to have at that point have a style and a clientele I'll have experience working at a single shop for a while and kind of like establish a name for myself. In 5 years, I'd like to be living with my boyfriend, probably just the two of us. And also starting, in 5 years, I want to have like a retirement fund. I don't have one now, and I feel like I should. So it'd be nice to have
some money
to start
saved.
financial stability. I guess is a big one, and then like a strong social group, and hopefully I can have travel a little bit at that point as well, like for fun and for vacations here and there.
Yeah, cool. No, that's great. Are there any like issues or topics you can think of that sort of that you take like a big you're really passionate about, or you take a stance on? And it's okay if there's not. That's a question.
Issues that I take a stance on. I mean, recently, since the election, I feel like I've taken more stances on things, and I've been a lot more like aware of politics than I ever have before.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like skeptical of politics, like regardless of like the recent election. Like even before then, I'm such a skeptic with the government and everything. So now it's just kind of I've become even more like skeptical and concerned. And I was living abroad for a while, and I felt very out of the loop. And then I moved back into like kind of a mess. So that's an issue I'm kind of aware of. A lot of like women's rights issues and like issues involving race. I feel like the generation I'm in, we get made fun of for being so PC about everything. But you can kind of see things changing in it. So I am becoming more of a PC person. And then just like general things like in my close proximity, like I always feel I'm upset by like the homeless situation in San Francisco and like how money is distributed. So little like social issues. I don't know. I feel like kind of like everything, environmental issues too. I feel like now's a really pressing time for, So social, political, environmental issues.
Okay. You said you were living abroad. Where were you living?
I was living in Japan about a year and a half ago. I lived there for
cool.
2 years.
Where in Japan were you? I love Japan.
I lived in Kawasaki, which is like a suburb of Tokyo.
Okay. How did you like that?
I loved it. It was fun. I graduated college, and I couldn't really find I couldn't really see myself on this great career path with what I had studied.
Yeah.
And I panicked a little bit, but I had taken some Japanese classes, and I had always been like really into Japanese culture. So I just decided that I would like go there and see if I could figure it out. So I actually expected to be there quite a bit longer, but all of my family is in San Francisco.
Yeah.
My parents were getting older, and like they were having some health problems, and I just panicked a little and decided to come back. So I mean, they're doing all right now, but it was kind of a wake-up call. I was like, now is not the time to...
It's such a great experience to have.
Maybe I did it for a short period, and it's okay, so...
Cool. Okay, so what brands come to mind, shifting gears a little bit, what brands come to mind that you really like, that you're really inspired by, you think they communicate well, make great products?
Well, I guess for my fashion sense, like darker, edgier brands. This is like the only color shirt I own.
Okay.
I usually wear like all black, and so I kind of like I like a lot of like I'm getting into like streetwear at the moment.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and there are a lot of like great like smaller brands that caught my eye like on Instagrams that I've gotten into. One is called Stay Cold that I really like, and they just have like a lot of like graphic tees and stuff like that, and it's a bit more affordable, so I like that as well. And then I like Adidas is a great one for some streetwear, but then if I can splurge, or if I can spend birthday money, or like my mom wants to take me shopping, I like things like stores like All Saints. I go crazy in All Saints.
I love All Saints.
If I was super rich, I would like spend all my money there.
I agree.
And then Rag and Bone is a cool one. So I just gravitate towards like, I guess those fashion brands that are like all black, kind of have like a slightly goth feel.
Cool aesthetic. Okay, even beyond like your like personal style necessarily, can you think of any brands that like, it could be anything from hotels or like apps maybe you use frequently, or technology brands? Apple's always a popular one for people.
Yeah, Apple products are like everything. I have a lot of Apple products. I'll probably stay with Apple products. I know, like, I have a lot of friends who have like switched their phones stuff, but I don't know. I'm so used to using an iPhone that I'll stay with that.
Okay.
Other apps I use are like Lyft and Uber. Let me look at my phone and see. Like Google, of course, like Google Calendar. Instagram I use a lot, and Facebook. LinkedIn a little bit, although less so now that I'm like kind of have a job that, I don't know. Tattoo artists don't really use LinkedIn as much anymore.
Okay.
I use Snapchat a little bit, maybe not quite as much as my friends. Netflix I use.
Okay.
Hulu I use a little bit. Skype. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you think of any really good shopping experiences you've had recently?
Let me see. I feel like online or like in a store?
Anywhere.
I feel like online, since I've been having a lot of fun finding like those smaller companies that have like cool graphic tees and streetwear. So that's always like a nice place to get like pull a shirt from, or something that I feel like no one else would have. So those are always fun shopping experiences. I went into Urban Outfitters the other day. I don't know like what compelled me, because I feel like I've kind of grown out of that brand. I used to shop at Urban Outfitters all the time, and I just don't really do it that much anymore because I feel like it's kind of expensive for the quality. But I went in and I found fake leather jacket, but it had like studs on it and some floral pattern, and it was like marked down from a sale price, so it was dirt cheap. So that was a really great shopping experience.
Okay.
What else? I feel like I go to Crossroads a lot, which is like,
I know Crossroads. Yeah, that's a fun one.
I always have great shopping experiences there, because I always feel like I find something and it's so reasonably priced. So a lot of my clothes recently have been coming from Crossroads.
So it sounds like part of what you like is about like what makes a good shopping experience for you might have something to do with like feeling like you're getting a good value out of what they're selling.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Are there other things that come to mind about like, I don't know, interactions with people, or like other things that you think make a really great shopping experience for you in general?
Yeah, if it's like, if I go into a store and it's kind of like quick and efficient, that's really helpful, because I feel very pressed on time. So if I walk into a store and it's crowded or there's a line for the dressing room, like I won't even bother. Things have to be really convenient, because I just like don't have that much time. And if I do kind of go into a store, it might be like right before work, or it's like a spur of the moment type thing. Yeah. And then I guess I look for that convenience online too. Like I have started using ASOS a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I had to buy a dress for my friend's wedding coming up, and then I also realized I wanted like some staple clothing pieces.
Yeah.
Like like just a plain pair of pants and like a white shirt. I really needed like some basic new sneakers. And I used ASOS, which was awesome because they have free returns. So I don't know if I'm going to buy, like, if I'm going to buy staples like that, I feel like it has to be from a website that has free returns, or I just like won't purchase it.
That's fair. Can you think of any like really bad shopping experiences you've had lately? Or can you like imagine what a bad shopping experience like looks like?
Yeah, I feel like if the people working at the shop were like kind of rude, it would be hard. Or this was kind of maybe a year or 2 years ago, but I went into a store and it was just like, I think it was like a Forever 21, and it was just a mess. Like there were like clothes everywhere, and I was just like so off put, and I was like, ugh, never mind, because their hangers were crappy. I was just like, nah, I'm not even gonna bother. Any bad shopping experiences? Not too many. I guess if people are like upset at their job, but I can understand maybe they're having a bad day or something like that. Oh, I did go into Crossroads one day, and it was so crowded, full of people, and I feel like it wasn't even the people that were working there, but it was like their aisles are really narrow, and there were a ton of people like trying to like get through, and I felt like just the
claustrophobia.
The customers were uneasy and were like pushing each other.
Huh.
So I didn't like that. Sometimes I'll walk into Crossroads, and if it's like too crowded, like I feel like I can't get to the clothes, I'll just give up and leave as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that was probably the most recent shopping experience where I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
It was a crowded Crossroads.
All right, that's great. How about, have you been to any pop-ups recently? Or at all?
Any
like pop-up shops?
I haven't. I almost went to one because I got a gift card from there, and then I didn't have the time, and I can't remember even what it was called, but I feel like I'm not very aware of like what pop-ups are in San Francisco, to be honest. Like I know a lot of like, I feel like I learn a lot about restaurant pop-ups.
Yeah.
But in terms of clothing pop-ups, like I don't hear about any that come up, except for this one time I got a coupon, and then I almost went, but I didn't have time.
Okay.
But yeah, if my friends are talking about pop-ups, it's usually about like food pop-ups. So maybe if someone told me about like a pop-up for a clothing brand that was like cool for tattoo artists, or like had tattoo designs or something like that, I would totally go, I think.
Yeah. What about like other kind, like if you were, I was talking to a New York girl, and do you know the company Casper? They make like custom beds.
Yes, I do. Actually, there's a pop-up. I work across the street from an American Apparel that went out of business, and that pop-up is now across the street.
Oh, really?
Where I work.
Oh, no way. That's so funny.
I just heard about that pop-up from like close proximity, but I'm not really sure what it is besides like something to do with mattresses and napping.
Yeah, so I heard that like you can basically, what she was telling me is she was in the market for buying a bed, so it was like relevant for her, and she said you make an appointment and you can go like nap on their beds as long as you want, and just like figure out if you like it or not, and then I don't know. It seemed kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, it's like if you're not in the market for a bed, I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't know.
Interesting.
So in general, you'd say, do you like the idea of pop-ups?
Yeah, but I think I do like the idea, but only if it like really fits in my style, or if I have like the time to go. I guess if I knew there was a time limit to it being there and it really, really fit with with the style that I liked, I would do that for sure. Or I would definitely like pop in one day on a day off.
And what do you feel like you'd be able to get there that you might not get in a regular store? Like what's the different, how do you see them differently than a typical store?
probably very like niche stuff. Like if I like graphic tees that have an art, like a local artist or something, that would be it. Or if there was a pop-up shop that literally just had all black clothing, I would totally go to that.
Okay.
Because that's when I go into a store, that's usually what I look for anyway. I'm like anything that's black, everything else I'm just ignoring.
Yeah.
So if there's a pop-up shop that was like all black clothing, I'd go. It'd just make my life a lot easier to have my interests in one shop like that.
Cool. All right, rank this. This one's a little tough. Try and rank this in order of importance to you. Unique experiences, or unique experience, ease, and value.
And so what was the second one?
Ease. Like
ease.
Yeah.
And value. Probably value, ease, and then unique experience.
How come that order?
Yeah, definitely. Value because I'm like on a tight budget at this point in my life.
Okay.
And so if I'm going to spend money on clothes, I want to make sure that it lasts a while, or that I'm actually going to wear it, and that like I don't feel guilty when I purchase it. Ease because I feel very pressed on time often. So if I can purchase something online, if it has free returns, or if I'm buying from a store that's like close to where I live, then it just like it makes me a lot happier.
Okay.
I have to have that convenience. And then unique experience. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just buying a staple, like plain old shirt, and it might not be a very unique experience of like purchasing the shirt, but I need it because I need a basic t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like that's all right. So I feel like I go to a shop and the people working there are kind of grumpy. It's like, might not be a unique special experience, but like I'm grumpy at work sometimes too. I kind of get that.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes shopping for me is like, get it done, not so much like enjoy it, but.
Okay. Would you say that
yeah.
Would you say that order differs at all if you're buying something for like a hobby, or do you ever buy tools for like have to buy anything expensive for doing like the tattoo art, like materials and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Off like the equipment can be very expensive. Like a tattoo machine can be, but I guess there is some fun in it, like seeing if you find a great machine, if they give you color options or something like that. Yeah, there is like an enjoyment factor for shopping. For me, I feel like if I have to buy like a dress or go kind of outside of my comfort zone, it's kind of fun. Or if I have a coupon, or not a coupon, like a gift certificate,
yeah,
that's a lot more fun because
you're not spending your own
there's
money.
ease.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. It's like, yeah. Or there's like a sale going on, that's nice. Or if there's a shop that got new products in, then it's very exciting to go. Like there's a shop called Upper Playground that has really cool graphic tees and from like local artists. And if they get new artists in with new t-shirts, like I love to check it out, even just to check out their new artwork, even if I'm not going to buy anything.
Okay.
So yeah, when new products come in, that makes it a lot, like definitely an enjoyable experience.
Cool. All right, let's talk about. Can you think of a recent time where you bought a technology product?
Let's see. I don't know the last technology product I purchased. It might have been maybe my iPhone not too long ago. My other one broke and like the screen shattered, and so I purchased a new one. My laptop was fixed recently, although that's not really a new purchase. I've in the past I've purchased nicer brands of headphones.
Okay, let's talk through one of those. 'Cause
Okay.
that sounds like it's more of a something you want versus need.
Yeah, I think so.
So can you kind of think back to the time that you realized you were interested in even getting a pair of headphones to like the moment you actually bought them? Like how'd you go about narrowing down your options and figuring out what you want and all that kind of stuff?
I had always Apple product headphones, but in college I was like going to a lot of concerts, and I had a group of friends that was really into music, like rock and roll and electronic music and like different genres and stuff. And they all had like a lot of great, they had like great speakers and stuff. And usually when we would hang out, it was all centered around music.
Okay.
And so they all had really kick-ass headphones, and they would like, I realized like I don't want to use like Apple product headphones anymore. I got super jealous of like what they had, and just like the quality sounded so much better.
Yeah.
And then at that time, I think Beats by Dre were really in. Like it was in to actually get over the ear like noise cancel thing headphones.
Yep.
So I got a pair of Beats by Dre, and then later on learned that there's even better stuff out there, that like the technology with like noise canceling earbuds was kind of the way to go. And so I think I bought some I can't remember what brand headphones, some decent headphones, but they didn't quite fit my ears very well. And then as a birthday present, I got a pair of, I also can't remember what brand, but they were like multiple $100 headphones. They were so expensive. They're like some of the like best at the time. And the person in the store told me, I was like, I'm going to be working out a lot. Like I exercise a lot with headphones. And she was like, I exercise in these all the time. It'll be fine. So I was like, sweet, these are what I want. And then I used them. I think I went on like a couple runs with them, and maybe it was the sweat. I don't know what it was, but they broke.
My
So
Bose headphones did the same thing. It's so frustrating.
It was so frustrating, and I was like, maybe she just does like yoga or something and isn't doing like the level of exercising I do, or
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But after that, because it was so expensive and because I was so upset, I kind of just like went back to cheap headphones.
Yeah.
And I'd like to like splurge on a nice pair again sometime in the future, but maybe I'll do more research or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So even when you were like, you tried out the Beats by Dre and then realized there are ones that are better at noise canceling. Do you remember where you went for that kind of information?
I think after I bought Beats by Dre, I actually used those Beats for a long time, and then when I looked at other headphones, I eventually gave them to my friend. I think they were like breaking anyway. I had used them so much. And then when I went to look at different headphones, I think I went to Best Buy one day, just to like get an idea. But I think they were just pushing Beats only. And I knew that there were someone, like my friends had told me that there were better quality earbuds or headphones, but that Beats was just being pushed by Best Buy. So like I felt like I couldn't really trust certain retail outlets. Yeah, so I think that's also kind of why I held off from buying a nicer pair, was just there were a lot of options and I felt like I could get ripped off easily, so I just waited.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where did you end up buying the nice expensive ones?
Those was that? I don't think maybe it was a Best Buy. There was some Best Buy out when I was with my dad in Colorado that had like a subsection that was like had very high end products. So I felt like I was kind of overstepping like the whole buy Beats by Dre thing and like stepping into a portion of the shop that was like, okay, let's look at like very high quality stuff that's maybe not being pushed by like a celebrity. So there was like, there's some sort of like subsection of Best Buy.
Okay. Cool. Do you remember if you like talked to the salespeople there at all?
Yeah, I did. I talked to that woman who who like told me that I could work out with the earbuds. They were talking about like noise cancel and like how it would fit in my ear, because I feel like I have small ears and earbuds don't fit very well.
Okay.
So yeah, I did talk to the reps there.
Okay. Cool. Was there anything you felt like would have been helpful from the whole experience that like wasn't there? Was missing?
Maybe they didn't talk too much about like returning them and stuff, which would have put me. They were so big on like selling them. That would have put me when they broke. I was kind of like, oh my god, what do I do now? And I had to like look it up myself. So maybe if they made me feel a little more, if it was a little more reassuring, rather than just like talking up the product.
Yeah.
They're like, if anything goes wrong, like, if something did go wrong, then you can bring it back here and we'll like help you out. So that would have been nice. I think. And then maybe like giving me a couple more options. They kind of like, they're like, these are exactly what you want. But if they had given me like one or two more options, that would have been nice. Not like 5, not like so many that I feel overwhelmed. But it would have been nice to have like a little bit. Something to compare them to. A little bit more to think about, I think, yeah.
Do you feel like they asked a lot of questions of you before they made their recommendation?
Yes and no. They knew that I wanted noise cancel. They knew I wanted earbuds. And then they knew that I wanted to exercise in them. But I think, like, they should have asked me, like, do you sweat a lot when you exercise?
Do you, like, exercise a lot, like, or do you do yoga?
I wonder maybe, like, bouncing up and down was, like, what broke them. I'm not sure, but, like, I'm not just, like, stationary lifting weights.
Yeah,
so
I
feel like maybe if they had gotten into, like, the specifics.
It's probably the sweat. That's my theory.
That's kind of why I read, like, because I don't know if I tells people as much. Like, I want to hear from aren't a very good way of doing it as well, but like you can kind of get a gist. If something's breaking consistently, like it'll show up consistently in reviews, and so that's kind of how I try to look at reviews rather than just people on there writing angry things.
Yeah.
It's like if something's consistently happening over reviews, then it must have some bit of truth in it.
It's true.
Yeah. So if I'm going to purchase something now, I might get it like a sales, like an opinion of a sales rep, but like I'll be like, okay, hold on 1 second, and then I'll get on my phone and I'll look at reviews as well, just to kind of
verify.
I don't know, back them up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So now, more generally speaking, I have a few questions about different components of a shopping experience. So the first one is space. And can you think of any like retail space environments that you feel like are done really well? Either maybe their products are organized really well, or like I don't know, just something about the actual environment like makes sense to you.
Yeah. Let's see. I like how All Saints is set up. I think it just like looks very classy. Like the dressing rooms are really big and comfortable. I think Crossroads is awful. It's just crowded and I don't know. They kind of have things organized in like I don't know, it's a little hard to navigate in there, especially with like shoes. I do like how they separate. They have a section for black clothing. That's like the one thing I personally like, but I know that's not necessarily what other people would like. What else? I think Uniqlo is kind of nice. I haven't been to one in America though in a while, but I know in Japan they're really organized and really clean, and I feel like, and things are kind of like spread out enough where you don't feel like it's too crowded.
Yeah.
It's like also very easy, like outerwear versus like intimates versus like everyday wear. So.
Cool. Knowing that you can now buy pretty much anything online, like why even go to the store?
I feel like sometimes a lot of online sites don't have free returns, and like I'm the type of shopper who will like grab a lot of stuff and then maybe purchase one thing, if anything.
Yeah.
Or I'll grab something and I'll be like, I've been waiting my whole life for this. It's perfect. And then I'll try it on and it will totally miss the mark. I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I even grabbed that. So like I have to see it on my body.
Yeah.
So if I'm buying online and they don't have free returns, then I'm kind of screwed. That's why I like ASOS a lot. And yeah, that's the main thing. I really want to see it like on my body.
Do you feel similarly?
And also I feel like I see, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you feel similarly like when buying like electronics?
Online versus in store. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a gray area with that one, because like I definitely read a lot, maybe because it's maybe like a bit more of a splurge, and because it's something that I really, really want to last a while. I'll like read a lot of reviews, but if I can go to a store and like hear speakers or hear like sound quality, I guess, then I would do that.
Okay.
Or if I can, like, I don't know, you can't, I mean, I go to the Apple store, it's a new iPhone. Like I'll go to the store and I'll probably feel it out, like how it fits in my hand, because I have small hands and I don't like how they're getting bigger and stuff like that. Or I'll play around on an iPad in the store, but then I might go home and buy it online. Either like look for a cheaper option or buy it there, so that out of like convenience of not carrying it around or something like that.
Okay.
Or maybe there's like an online coupon that I can use.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like for electronics, I would, if I have the time where I'm like not sure about a product, I would like go and feel it out in a store and then maybe buy it there, but probably buy it at home online.
Okay. How about people? What are 3 characteristics you think make a good salesperson?
Really honest. I think that's the biggest thing. Not pushy. I hate that. It'll straight up scare me away if someone's being pushy. And just like friendly, having good customer service. Yeah. Even if it's your job, so even if you're having a bad day, you kind of have to like push through it and be really like as friendly as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like in general to interact with salespeople, or would you prefer them to just like stay behind closed doors kind of?
I prefer them to stay behind closed doors unless I like ask for help. I guess I kind of like a general presence.
Yeah.
Like I want them to feel like they're close by if I have a question, but at the least they'll be like, can I help you find anything? And then I'll be like, no, I'm good. And then like, that's it. But if I'm shopping and a salesperson comes up and is like, that shirt would look great on you, I'm like, go away. Like, I hate this shirt. Like, yeah.
I don't even see it.
And they like try to become, yeah. I'm like, leave me be. I'm like gross today. Or I'm like, I don't know. I like to be in my own little bubble when I'm shopping. So if I feel like someone's trying to suddenly become like my personal shopper, I'm like, no, I don't like it. It's like way too much. So at the very like, do you need help with anything? Yeah. I'll probably say no. Then they can leave me alone. And then I would just like a general, to feel like they're close by in case a question pops up.
Yeah. Okay. Can you think of any brands or anyone who makes buying their products just like so insanely easy?
ASOS makes it so easy. Just the free returns are great. It like arrives pretty quickly, and you just like I feel like when I first used it, I like ripped open the bag because I was so excited, and then it was like the wrong product, and I was like, oh crap! But then there was like a little sticker, and it was like, why are you returning it? And it had an option of like, we sent you the wrong thing, and I was like, yeah, awesome, that's, like problem solved. And then I was like, oh crap, how do I mail it back because I ruined the bag? And my sister was like, oh no, you can literally just duct tape it up and like send it. And so I like sent back this like mess of a package, and they like took it back. They don't care, so they're like, I thought they're like really easy with that. So I feel like that's for like online shopping and anywhere that has like really great return policy. Cool. I really like.
Okay. How about?
And if I guess they don't ask too many questions with returns, they're not like, why? Like, what was wrong with it?
Are there holes in it?
Changed my mind. I don't know. It has its tags. Take it.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
How about, okay, so technology in the store. Can you think of any places where you may have interacted with technology in the store, and like, or if not, like, what purpose do you think it should serve?
I think people should, let me think. People should, if they're going to interact with technology in a store, they should have an experience that they just like cannot get through online shopping. So it's nice when stores have like, you can sit in front of a TV and like try to imagine it in your house, or you can like look at all angles of a product, like you can really give an immersive experience if someone wants to test out some speakers. Yeah, so just like really trying to have people interact with products. I think Apple does a great job of it. I mean, sometimes I walk into the Apple store and I'm like kind of confused because there's like so much going on, and I'll just like go to a laptop and I'm like, I guess I'll just play around with this. But there was like a time where I spent an hour drawing something on an iPad. Like I felt like I really got to know what it felt like to draw on an iPad, and it's nice that I can like go in there and someone can like walk me through it, or I can just go in there and draw on an iPad and leave if I want. Like they just want you in there using their products. So to have so many products lying out like that is really awesome, and to like either help people very directly, or to let people just like fuck around on on the equipment and get used to it themselves. I think they've nailed it in terms of like users interacting with products in store.
Yeah, no, that's great, and I agree. I love doing that too.
And they have like tutorial things, which I've never done, but I'm sure.
But you know, you could.
Nice, like if I buy something to bring it in store, and like they teach me how to use it a little, I think that's pretty cool to have classes like that.
Cool. Okay, and then content. So can you think of any, like, do you tend to keep anything from a brand? Like sometimes they have really cool magazines that they create, or booklets, or like cool shopping bags.
Yeah, I'll keep, if they have a cool shopping bag, I'll totally keep that, especially if it's like a cloth bag or something like that. And if it like just looks awesome, I'll totally keep that. Sometimes I'll get like stickers if I buy from a brand and they're like really cool. I'll keep any stickers.
Okay.
Things I won't keep are probably like pamphlets or magazines, unless there's like art in there. I'll like rip out a page and keep a piece of artwork maybe, but pamphlets and magazines I wouldn't keep.
Okay.
If they had a little keychain or something, I might keep that.
Okay. And can you think of any brands that you really like their voice, like the way they communicate things? Either they say things maybe cleverly or just different than what you would expect?
I like sometimes, maybe this isn't like a clothing brand, but I feel like you can tell and I can't think of like what specific products, but I feel like sometimes I'll buy like a juice or something in the store and it'll like have a witty little write-up on it. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. Or it'll like tell a cool little story. And that's good. But then I feel like there are also products that kind of like push that too far and it almost sounds like snobbish. They're like, we know you like our drinks. And then they'll use like some lingo that I'm like, are you trying to appeal to my generation? Because I can tell. So I feel like I like, if there's like a brand that has like a cool and witty write-up, but not pushing it so much that like it's making me as a millennial roll my eyes, like it's not trying too hard. If that makes sense. I can't think of any like specific examples, but I've seen a lot of it in like food products recently.
I had one come to mind. I mean, Lululemon, I feel like does it a little too much. They're a little too preachy. Yeah, it almost gets like they're like to the point where they're like showing off. They're like, we know we're awesome. You love our stuff. And I'm like, excuse me, I'll tell you if I love your clothes. So preachy is not good. And then if I don't know, in terms of clothes, if I'm going into a store and I'm not too big on like prints that are like, I'm number one, or like wine before coffee or something. I'm like, what? Like trying to be cool and just like not like not, maybe coffee before coffee, like
I'm like, okay.
Cool. No, that's helpful. All right, so now I can tell you what this is even for, because now I have some more specific questions about their products. So this is for Google hardware. They're thinking about, they have some pop-ups and they're going to do the next iteration to promote their products and get them in the hands of people.
Sweet.
It's really cool. And
awesome.
So I know you said you have an iPhone, and I'm curious about, and I know you said you'd never switch, but I'm just curious to dig into that a little bit more. Like, what has you really attached? And I'm not trying to sell you on their phone or anything, just trying to understand it a little better.
That's an interesting thing to think about, or something I have to think about. I feel like I'm just so, when I pick up, I'm so like in sync with my phone that like when I pick it up, it like feels like second nature. Like if my phone isn't on me, I feel like in panic mode. And if it's like, if I left it at home, I'm useless. Like I use it for everything, for like navigation or like for transportation, like to get around and stuff. So it's like an organ for me. Like I feel like I need it. So it would be a huge step to switch to something else, to where I like pick up the phone and I'm like, wait a minute, how do I use this? And I have to like learn. It's not so muscle memory anymore. So I think that's the biggest thing that I would have to get used to. Or like I would never. But that being said, in terms of Google, like I use Gmail and I use Google Calendar so much that if that was like better, if that would like sync up to my phone, then I would probably, then in like a situation like that, maybe I would make a switch. If it was meshing to like very like innate systems I'm using, then I might put in the effort. Like I was using iCal forever until someone was like, get with the program and use Google Calendar. And then I started using it and I was like, wow, I'm never using iCal again. Like I totally get it. So, but I've thought about straying from iPhone just because I've had friends that have done it, and more importantly have said like, oh, you'll have to eventually. They're like, there will be something better than an iPhone, and then you'll make the switch. And I'm like, yeah, well, when that happens, I'll do it. But for now, like, I want to stick to what I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So if there's pressure from friends and they're like, get with the times, like this is the new thing, this is what everyone's using, I'll be like, all right, I believe you, and they'll probably be right.
Cool. Where'd this other question go? Oh yeah. Oh, what are your thoughts on virtual reality? I'm
super excited about it.
Okay.
I think Weston actually has a set now.
Yeah.
He and my boyfriend Kento, they were playing with it, and like I was like at work, I was like going about my normal day. Kento was just like, I'm in another dimension. Oh, don't hurt yourself. So I'm excited to try it out, and I'm excited to see like where it'll goes. I like if you talk to my friends, and like I think so too, are like, oh, it's the next big thing. Like it's totally gonna change how we like interact with technology and how we have entertainment and stuff. And so I'm like all for it. I want to try like every level of its development. So I just need I'm curious to see how it'll like translate into everyone's homes, or like how, I don't know how it'll work. I think there are places you can go that like set up even rooms for you to like explore. So I want to there's one in Colorado. I'd like to try that. I'd like to try Weston's at some point.
Yeah.
When I go to his house, but
cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for virtual reality. Super excited.
Awesome. And how about AI voice products like the Alexa or Google Home? Do you see a place for any of those in your life?
Yeah, I do. I think people kind of have to get used to it. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there are still some bugs with it that need work. I use Siri a lot, and like especially if I'm driving.
Okay.
So I feel like Siri really got easy for me I think the hands-off thing with Siri was really great, because like I can drive and just like tell it to read my text messages. Yeah. So I think that's like the most I've used it. Or if I want to look something up very quickly. But I have a friend who has Alexa, and was like, trying to get used to it and got kind of frustrated. I think maybe because it didn't hear him all the time, or I don't know. He just wasn't used to it yet. Okay. And I feel like it's taking him a little bit longer to get used to. So I'm not sure if I would get Alexa yet. But certain things like Siri, if it's like when it's convenient to use, that's kind of when I use it. So I'm not sure if it would, maybe at some point it'll be like all the time you're like controlling stuff with your voice. But I feel like for now it's just like on occasion, if you remember, or if it feels right, use your voice. Yeah. Okay. How would you describe the Google brand as if it were a person? Person? Oh my God. Like an all-knowing. Yeah. It's like an all-knowing, probably like pretty hip and up-to-date person. Okay. Always like constantly changing, and I don't know, like pretty revolutionary in a lot of ways. I feel like there's like a lot of trust with Google. My sister interned there, and it was like, she described it as like the most incredible experience, like going to work every day. Aww. So I don't know, that's kind of, I feel like, yeah, as a person, it's definitely a good, if I saw it as a person, I definitely look at them like with very high regards. Cool. That's good. And if they had, like, can you imagine what a product store for them would look like? A product store? Yeah. Can you like imagine what the vibe might be? I guess kind of, I feel like it could be kind of like similar to Apple. Yeah, I feel like that would be like the best comparison, but maybe different in a lot of ways. Like sometimes I feel like Apple is too sleek and cool, and like I know they got some heat for having like a Genius bar, and you like have to talk to a Genius. It was like almost too pretentious. Yeah. And sometimes I will walk into an Apple store and get like no one will jump out to help me, or they don't have enough people, and I'll just awkwardly go to a laptop and like wait around, and I'm like, I wonder if they know I'm here. Like, should I just come back on a slower day? So I feel like I can imagine if there was a Google store, maybe they'd fix that problem of like people getting a little lost in that huge room, and maybe not call it a Genius Bar a Genius Bar.
Yeah.
I feel like I could imagine Google having a pretty cool retail store. Definitely. Yeah. Similar to Apple, but maybe fixing some things that Apple's gotten heat for.
Okay. Awesome. No, that's great. Okay, and then just a few other questions about you, and then we'll be done. Would you more closely identify with a global mindset, would you say, or a local mindset?
I think definitely both, but more a global mindset since living abroad.
Yeah.
I think like I'm constantly thinking about how I like think about Japan a lot, and sometimes a product will come out and I'll be like, oh, it's going to do great in Japan, it will do poor here. So yeah, I think kind of more globally.
Okay.
And I still have a lot of friends while living in Japan, that not only Japanese friends, but like a lot of friends. And I'm still in touch with a lot of them. And we'll talk about like what we're into or what technology interests both of us. So I feel like I think a little more globally than locally.
Cool. That's great. Would you call yourself a feminist? And you don't have to, there's no right answer. Okay.
I think so, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe not as much as some of my other friends. I have like some diehard like bra burning feminist friends, but I definitely think I'm more feminist than maybe the
on the spectrum.
Person.
How about an experience seeker?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe less so when I'm so busy with work, but I like to like explore a lot of different places. Definitely like to travel and like to be abroad. When I left, I was like dying to leave high school, and then I like went to New York City, and I was like, I want to master this city, and then I went to Tokyo. So I was always like looking for the next big thing. So I feel like maybe I'm a little bit more settled down now after doing that, but I still like to like try different foods. And if there's something I haven't tried or I haven't seen or I haven't done, I'm like, oh God, I better do that, because I am an experience seeker. I want to try new things and keep life exciting.
Cool. How about sneakerhead?
What's that?
I think it's someone who's just like obsessed with buying sneakers and like, I don't know.
I'm a sneakerhead. I think I feel like I want to be one. Like I see like amazing shoes. Not right now, but there's like potential to be one.
Emerging sneakerhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like to be a sneakerhead, you have to be like absolutely, totally obsessed.
Yeah.
Like you buy your sneakers like wrapped in plastic and you barely wear them. I'm like, I want nice sneakers, but I like they will get dirty and I will wear them down.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Do you
I
happen
have to be a little more practical?
Yeah. Do you happen to know anybody with a Google phone, the Pixel phone, Google phone?
I don't. Not right now.
Okay. Cool. I think it's pretty new still.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Cool. That's it. So, a couple other things. Do you happen to have a picture of like yourself doing something, a cool activity that you could send us? We're trying to just create like little profiles of the people we talk to.
Yeah, definitely. I can email a picture over.
Okay, that'd be great.
Doing a fun activity. I mean, like specific or
no. I mean, it could be if you have any like photos doing the tattoo stuff, like really anything that you feel like kind of represents who you are a little bit.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can send some over today.
Okay, cool. Thanks. And then do you have Venmo?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to give you, we just need to have a little like phrase. So I'm going to email that to you. And if you can email that back to me with your Venmo account, then I can get you the cash today.
Okay, awesome. Sweet.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much. This was really fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was fun talking to you too. I feel like shopping now, honestly. I'm kind of excited. I'm excited for what Google's doing, so I'll look out for you guys.
Cool, thanks. And yeah, good luck with all of your tattoo stuff. It's really exciting.
Thank you.
All right, bye, Katie.
All right, bye. Have a good one.
You too.